What the hell? Now, I want to ride, I want to paint. I wonder if there's a bathroom around here, honey. Hello there, folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video, and welcome to the beautiful Dingle Peninsula. This place has been a cherished area of the west of Ireland for both Orla and I for many years. But the aim of today's video is to do two things. One, we are going to hike up to the Dunmore Fort, which is going to give us a very beautiful view of the Three Sisters, which is out over this way. You can't see them, you can't see them. There you go, that was a wonderful pan by Senior Spielbergo. She is back at the helm, folks. So enjoy the wonderful shaky cam that is to follow. The second image in this video that we are going to do will be tomorrow evening, which is going to be another hike, but we'll talk about that tomorrow when we essentially get there. First of all, we are going to make our way up to the top to this beautiful fort, and then we are going to have a commanding view looking down over these beautiful mountains, which we will show you now in just a few minutes. So let's get strapped in and let's get rambling. So, this has to be my favorite of all the signs here in Ireland. It's very quintessential, kind of like I've had a bit too much booze and here I'm falling over. So our path is going to take us through this way, which is going to lead us around the coast and then up the hill behind. So let's get bushwhacking. So one thing you really need to remember if you're doing any kind of like long grass hiking trails here in Ireland, and in Kerry in particular, so we hear long trousers and boots. Ticks are a thing here for sure, and it's something that you absolutely need to be mindful of when you come. Needless to say, I'm sure you'd be fine, but you know, it's one of those things that you want to just like prevent for just in case. But I have just come around this corner here and I caught a glimpse of our view and it is stunning. So let's go. So this trail is absolutely marvelous, and I have come up to this little lump, I suppose, and you can see behind me, I really hope, the three individual peaks of the Three Sisters that are off this beautiful coastline here. But the surf down here below is absolutely wonderful. I really wish I could get down nice and low because there are ample amounts of images down here, but the cliffs here are pretty sheer, and like I have been maintaining over the last 2 years or so of making videos, that you got to be super duper careful when walking on these cliffs. But it is absolutely wonderful. We are just taking our time, we're not rushing, everything's easy going, and it's actually quite warm. It's very bluebird sky. The one time you want clouds in Ireland. But anyway, nonetheless, we'll make some magic work nonetheless. But all is well and we're having an absolutely wonderful time, so let's keep going. So this walk is outstanding. We are now about to start our ascent up this hillside to follow this wall, this old wall. So I assume it's a farm kind of border wall, but all of these rocks have now begun to reveal themselves and are covered so beautifully in all this wonderful lichen. like and subscribe. Hey! Wow. We have been walking now for exactly an hour and a half. Just taking our time, cruising, we're in no rush. We have about an hour and a half for the sunset. And this view is far exceeding any expectation I have. You see these pictures in your mind and you think, oh wow, that's a beautiful view. But man, when you are standing here, it's beyond beautiful. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Senior Spielberger, I'll have a pan here now for you. Watch how smoothly she pans. And fiddles with the dials. Look at this, adjusting the aperture. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut that. Okay. What are you up to, like F20? F20, folks, F20. Take that to fraction. Oh, wow, holy moly, folks. This is like incredible, absolutely stunning. For such a long time, Orla and I have both explored this absolutely gorgeous country of ours and thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. But there was always this like yearning and drive to like get myself up to these vantage points to give us such commanding views. And I'm so happy to be able to bring myself up here. It's such a wonderful feeling, and to be treated with such conditions. Now, there's no clouds in the sky, as you can see, but what we do have is this gorgeous glow. There is a slight haze that you can hopefully see in the background there, and it is catching that gorgeous golden light so beautifully. And what it is doing is just creating this absolutely, it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I've been taking a load of pictures and it's been great. Different kinds. I've been doing landscape, portrait, all sorts of fun stuff. So what I'll do is I'll pop them up on the screen for you now and walk you through them. Classic ASMR photography lab style. Welcome, friends, to the ASMR photography studio. And welcome to this absolutely incredible view of the Three Sisters here in the mighty Dingle Peninsula. I am absolutely overjoyed with how these images turned out, and they are exactly what I was ultimately looking to achieve. And that is a rare thing, as you know from my experiences throughout this journey of landscape photography. This first image we're looking at the moment now is that wide angle shot where I included that little island that was in front of the Three Sisters. And I really love the way the two small points on either side of the frame help to funnel us and our eyes through the image ultimately to the Three Sisters. Now for this picture, this is the one that I really came here to photograph. A really nicely zoomed in image, introducing that beautiful compression that the 100 to 400 does, and then that wonderful layering of these exceptional cliff faces. It's such a wonderful thing to know that I have these photographs on my computer and now ultimately sharing them out with you. I am absolutely overjoyed with how these images worked out. Such a magnificent scene. Ah, wow, beautiful. So, you know, one of the marvelous things about landscape photography is just when, you know, you feel like you've kind of got this shot, which I feel like I have, and you guys would have seen the variations of the shot that I really ultimately came here to photograph. But now that, you know, I feel like I've done that, I'm kind of running around for this last, we've got maybe like 5 minutes or so before the sun sets, and it's just, there's so many compositional opportunities using all these beautiful rocks. They are catching such gorgeous light, and obviously then the Three Sisters in the background. And it's always worthwhile to just have a run, well, not a run around, or you might fall off the cliff, a safe run around, and just play around with compositions when you feel like you've really achieved what you've came here to do, or, you know, arrived here to do. So I think really, you know what, looking in the picture, when you shoot this wide, it kind of looks like a paw, like a lion's paw or something. It's pretty wild looking. It's awesome. What a beautiful view it is. And it just has not failed to disappoint at all. So we are probably going to wrap it up here, and what I'll do is I'll pop up some of these pictures that I've taken and walk you through them then, and we'll make our way down. What's Orla saying to me here now? Failed to disappoint? What?
I can't do double negative. It has not failed to disappoint.
It has not failed to disappoint.
That means it disappointed you.
I'm not disappointed, folks, is the lesson here. I don't know what I said, but, you know, I'll leave it in just for prosperity and for the fact that my grammar and all that kind of fun stuff is appalling. So anyway, I'm going to pop up these pictures for you now, and let's have a look at them. Folks. So as I mentioned in my mad ramblings, when you feel like you've captured that image that you ultimately came out to achieve, always worthwhile exploring your surroundings to see if you can find some different compositions and some different ideas when it comes to your landscape photography. And this particular image I am really happy with. Beautifully nice leading line, heavy leading line we'll say, from the left as it brings us ultimately down on the hillside and across the water to these magnificent mountains. Super happy with how this one turned out. It is a focus stacked image because I did shoot it pretty wide, and I did focus stack for the foreground all the way out. Now for this next image, this was quite off the cuff really, but man oh man do I really love how it looks. It reminds me just of Ireland, you know, and I really love that about this particular picture. And I really love the golden light that's being cast from the sun. Again, with that 100 to 400, we get that beautiful compression, and it makes everything just seem so much grander. Such a beautiful image. I really love this particular one. Okay, folks, you'll have to forgive the lack of B-roll for this second half of the video. Senior Spielbergo stayed down at the van, and that is understandable because yesterday's hike, as incredible as it was, and the picture you guys would have seen, wow, it's just beautiful. But today is another hike, and off I go. I am heading to another spot that I have never visited, called Dunmore Head, which again is on the Dingle Peninsula. This little tiny speck of land has so much going for it, and it's not too far from where we were yesterday. You need to go up and over a hill to get there. So I am slowly making my way there, and I have about an hour and a half before the sun sets. I'm really looking forward to this because I have seen pictures of this, so I'm really hoping I can make it work. Whoa, wow, that's a steep hill. But it's pretty steep up here. But nonetheless, onwards we go. It is absolutely beautiful. I think I can see a bit of what we're going to be photographing now. Wow, that is a hill. And I just did a run as well, so I came back from a run straight into this. Beer. But anyway, I'm a bit delirious. I need oxygen. Anyways, here we go. Off we go. This is round 2 of me never photographing 2 places in Dingle before that require effort to get there. Whew. Okay, let's have some fun. So it's probably insanely blown out behind me here, but this is it's an absolutely insane view. The islands here are the Blasket Islands, the Great Blasket Islands. And ultimately my aim of today is to try and get down onto this headland so I can get just more of a straight on view looking here at these little islands. But nonetheless, even from up here, the view is absolutely stunning and would make an absolutely wonderful photograph. But I'm just going to head to the kind of like end point first, just in case some good light kicks off. Now it's very clear on the horizon, which is okay. So it's just like yesterday, but nonetheless, I'm just going to head to kind of like the main focus of this area, at least for me anyway, and then I'll work my way back up if I need to. It's a pretty straightforward hike, quite accessible actually. And one thing that I forgot to mention yesterday is I'm actually leave a link to the Alltrails kind of, you know, areas for these hikes. Yesterday's hike on the way down was a bit tricky because it got dark and it was you lose the trail quite easy. But this seems a lot simpler, so I think I feel very confident that I should be able to stay until, you know, it's dark, and then I have a nice bowl of yogurt waiting for me. But anyway, I'm going to head down a bit so I can put the camera down. But nonetheless, it's just stunning. But look at over here. Let me just swing you around over here. It's absolutely gorgeous. We have made it to the actual Dunmore Head, which is the end of this beautiful, beautiful trail that we find ourselves on. And it is absolutely stunning. Just these gnarly sea stacks and rocks and little things that are popping up out of the ocean. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the light is perfect. There is no cloud, unfortunately, but nonetheless, we shall shoot and get some of that beautiful soft light. Pretty much kind of mirroring what we got yesterday. But, you know, it's just a bit of a gnarlier landscape. So let's get our gear and let's get shooting. So the view is absolutely magnificent, really fantastic. And I've taken a couple of test shots. My tripod, I chat with these two dudes here, super nice dudes. And yeah, I don't know. I think I want to try find a bit more separation between that first one and the second one, as you can see here. And I have moved slightly over here a little bit because the water down here is acting a lot more kind of vigorous, we'll say, and it just might add a nice leading line that might help, you know, finish the image, if you will. So I'm going to grab my tripod and move over here, but it is absolutely wonderful. So let's keep shooting. So this is the result of that first little scout image that I mentioned a moment ago. Now, bear in mind that I took some mighty liberties when it came to the post-production of this image. As you can tell, there are clouds in the sky and it's all very sunsetty and lovely. I was only just playing around, really, to be honest with you, and I wanted to include it ultimately to say that for me, adding in skies in this regard, I wouldn't necessarily go bananas over it, but for me it helps to kind of envision the kind of images that I would ultimately love to come back to try and create. So as far as kind of like putting in the sky, it doesn't bother me so much at all, because again, it's not, you know, it's not going onto my website or any of that kind of stuff. It just serves a purpose or a reminder that this is what could be in the future, and ultimately trying to figure out better compositions and different compositions with that kind of intention behind it of, hey, if you come back here when the sky is like this, you can head to this kind of composition, and this is the kind of image that you would like to get. Well, so this view is just absolutely stunning, really stunning. I was playing around with a few different kinds of compositions and ultimately went back to where I started, which is usually the way it goes. But we have maybe about 15 minutes or so before that light really kind of fades, but it is catching so gorgeously, and I've got a polarizer on which I'm using as well to help, you know, it bring out those colors, because the side lighting is absolutely pure magic. So anyways, if any of these pictures turn out to be any good, pop them up on the screen for you now and walk you through them. Classic. ASMR Photography Lab style. So this is the main shot at Dunmore Head, and it is a wonderful, wonderful location. You're coming down in compositional options. Essentially, it's so beautiful. But this is the one that I ultimately settled on for my kind of final shot at this location, and I really loved the way that it turned out. Like the other image from the previous day, using that kind of leading line from the left, it takes us down into the frame and then ultimately back out into the sea stacks. There is no clouds in the sky, but that's okay. The golden light that's being cast on the cliff sides is just so magnificent. And then using a bit of a slow shutter speed, I was able to introduce a slight bit of motion into the water down on the bottom right of the frame that you can see here. I really love it. Okay, wow, absolutely spectacular. Thrilled with the photograph that you would have just seen. At least I hope I am. But probably got maybe about 10 minutes left of light left, and I'm just going to see if I can get to the top just to see if I can find something different. Now, I have no doubt there are stunning compositions like way down a bit further from where I was, but I was happy enough just to get to where I was. And next time for sure I'll get down to the water's edge a good bit. But anyways, for now, back up the hill and see if I can capture one or two last shots. Maybe a nice blue hour shot could work, and let's see. I have to get there first, so let's get there first. So for a very off the cuff kind of image, I really like how this one turned out. This whole video is full of images that I'm super happy with. I really love that heavy foreground of this gnarly looking rocks just sticking up out of the hillside, and of course then the midground and into that beautiful sunset in the background. I just ambled up as I was so out of breath. I just managed to find myself teetering off the edge of this hill and managed to frame up this image. Really delighted with how it turned out, and of course that fading light and just that last kiss of golden hue being cast across the water and onto the sea stacks is just magnificent. I'm so happy with how everything from these two locations turned out. Super delighted. Wow, there's really not too much I can say about that experience, folks. It was absolutely magic. I am going to leave this video here now because I am just back to the car and I need to rest. But I got chatting with a chap by the name of Bernard Gertie, who you may know from, say, Darren's videos, and certainly Gavin Hardcastle, Photo Trippers videos. They are organising a workshop here. So it was my first time meeting them. So this trip has been full of new meetings and wonderful people. So it's been a pleasure. Maybe tomorrow morning, the plan might be to go shoot Dunquin Pier for sunrise. And he mentioned he might be there, and he's a big fan of coffee, so we might have an L brew. I had an absolute treat exploring these new locations that I had never photographed before, and it was real pleasure. But for now I'm going to leave it here. So if you did like the video, folks, please do hit that like button, and if you do fancy following along for more of this Irish adventure, by all means you're most welcome to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.